Hi, it's Julie with the Byron Public Library, and I'm here to go over how to make your Christmas tree farm. So in your kit, the K through 5 Christmas creations, there's two small projects and this larger one. For this project, you'll need the white bag, and it's labeled Christmas Tree Farm, and the brown paper bag, which is also labeled Used for Christmas Tree Farm. From home, you will need a paintbrush. Kind of a smaller size one would work best, but not too tiny. But whatever you have, you can make work. And then you also need to cover your work surface and maybe not wear your nicest clothes. The paint is acrylic, so it could stain. You could also possibly need a little bit of school glue at the end and a fine tip Sharpie, but that's not absolutely necessary. Okay, so to start with, the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to paint so it has time to dry. So in your big white bag, you have a little plastic bag that has your elf in it. And we're gonna get out the peg doll and we're gonna leave the felt in there so that it doesn't get paint on it. So go ahead and get out the elf. And then in your bag, you have a lot of large pine cones. Those are your trees. So you should have 5 in your bag. Go ahead and get those out and set those spaced a bit apart. And I actually already painted one of them. And then from your brown paper bag, there's 4 containers of paint. And it's labeled green, light green, dark green, and teal. And this is what the teal looks like. I wanted you to be able to see that. It looks very pretty as a contrast, okay? So we have our 4 colors of paint. We have our pine cones, we have our peg doll elf, and then we need our brush. To start with, I'd say let's paint our elf. You can just go ahead and set that on your work surface, and you're going to paint just the body below the head. There's sort of a little circular ridge around the head. You're not gonna paint the head, you're gonna paint the body. So pick what color you want. You can match your hat or you can pick whatever color you like. So go ahead and paint that. You might need to hold on to the top of the head and just go ahead and paint that and then pick it up by the head and set it aside to dry, okay? Now, if you're using a color, you can decide which pine cone, since your brush already has that color on it, go ahead and select that and paint your pine cone. I'm gonna just pick, I didn't wanna paint my elf because I'm not sure it'll dry for the end, but I'm gonna just paint a little bit of the pine cone. So the best technique would be to set it there. You're gonna hold it with your finger on the tip. You're gonna dip your brush and then you're going to have to go down each individual. And so you could either do all one side if you want to do that and then turn it, or if you want to do the top layers first, you can kind of spin it around as you go, okay? So you're going to want to get the paint in all of these ridges. So that's going to take some time. My pine cone's a little wobbly because I gave you the nice ones. So you're going to do that. So pick, if you're using the lime green, decide how many you want to be lime green, then clean your brush. Change your colors and paint all of these. So you can see this one, what it looks like when it dries, okay? So that's our step with painting. Paint everything, set it aside to dry. So I'm gonna set this over here out of the way, and we're going to continue on with the next part, and that is starting to construct the tree lot. So you need your piece of cardboard, and you're going to set it like this so the long edge is facing you, okay? Short edge is over here, long edge facing you. Then in your bag, you also have something that's called lights and signs. The sign you can go ahead and leave in there, but we're going to get out. There's 4 red straws. I ran out of those, so I'm using green for my demo. You'll want those. Get those out. There's 3 pieces of blue string. You'll want to get those out right now and lay them out in front of you. You should have 2 short and 1 long piece of string. So go ahead and lay those out so you can tell which one's long, which one is short. And then you'll also right now need the little bag of white Play-Doh. This is how you're going to make your light poles. The straws are your light poles. This is your light string. That's how we're gonna make it stay up on your tree lot. So to start with, look at your straws and you will notice that we've put slits at the top on one end. So you're gonna wanna find the ends with the slits. Look carefully. Okay, and then to start with, you're going to get your 2 straws, your slit side up, and your long string. And you're going to take that string at the end and slide it through the slits like that. so it's attached. And then you're gonna take the other end over here and you're gonna slide it so it's attached. Then you're gonna figure out, wait, this is gonna go across the back part of your lot. So you're gonna decide, do you want your string to hang down a little bit? You can. If you want it to be straight across, you can decide. So you're gonna kind of figure out where that goes. When you decide that, you're gonna lay it down a little bit, get out your Play-Doh. Now you're gonna need a pinch of this, and be sure to save a little bit of this Play-Doh to put up your sign. So for right now, I'm gonna pinch that, and you can adjust it. Right now, I'm gonna put kind of a lot around this because I want it to stay still. And I'm gonna do my lights so they're hanging down a little. You can move it, like, okay, maybe that one's too close. I think I like it right there. Okay, so I have that white Play-Doh built up around those poles so they're staying put. Now I'm gonna rotate this because I need to take my shorter string and I need to insert it in this slit on top of the other one. And then I need to get my other straw and insert it in the top of the slits, like so. And then I'm gonna decide where that one needs to go, right? I'm gonna kind of let it hang there while I get some more Play-Doh. And you're gonna build that Play-Doh, so you wanna squish it really well around the bottom of your straw and build it up so your lights are, and then you can turn that around. Okay, that's not even. There we go. Okay, now we gotta do the other side. So same thing, we're gonna take this and we're gonna put it in the slit. And if your straw moves a little, that's okay. Just kind of keep building that up. And here's my slit. And I'm gonna put that through. And you could also trim this if you feel like your string is too long. You can shorten it a little bit if you want to. So again, I'm gonna let that dangle there and get some of my Play-Doh. And there we go. So I think mine look pretty even. So that's the base part of my tree lot, okay? Then you might notice you have yellow stickers. These are your lights. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take one yellow sticker, and you might wanna count out, if you care about things being even, you might count how many, there's 2 strips in there. You might count out so you can space out your lights evenly. And then you're just gonna put the sticker here in the middle. And then you'll put another sticker directly behind it. I just dropped my sticker and it landed on my box, so I'm gonna get another one. Directly behind it. So then it's a yellow light on either side. So you're gonna go ahead and add your lights. I'm not gonna have you watch me do all of that on all of those. So be a little careful, and just if your things start to fall over, don't worry about it. Just kind of fluff them up a little. It helps to have that Play-Doh kind of riding up on the straw. So we'll pretend that I got all my lights on there, and that's the basis of my tree lot. So I do have Play-Doh left over, which is good because I have a sign that I need to put up. And then also if you need a little bit more to reinforce that. Okay, so now we're going to pretend that our trees are all dry. And so that's why I painted one ahead of time and I didn't really paint the other. So now you want to decide, how are you going to arrange your tree lot? Like, how do you, so kind of play around with placing the pine cones or your trees. And mine are tipping, I told you that because I gave you the good ones. So do you just need to decide what you think looks like a pleasing, I just got green paint on my finger, pleasing arrangement, okay? So play around with that, arrange them. And once you've decided that, then in your brown paper bag, you have craft glue, which is a little bit thicker than school glue, and I gave you a stick. So what you're gonna wanna do is, if you're worried you can't remember where things go, you could kind of make a little pencil mark, like you could lift it up and put a little X so you know that's where you want that tree. And then what you're gonna do with your craft glue is you're gonna use your stick to pour a little bit of that glue on your board, and you wanna have enough so the pine cone will fit on it, and you're gonna stick your pine cone in it, okay? So you're gonna go around and do that for all of your pine cones with this glue. And then you're gonna have to be patient so it dries. So then after you've done that, we'll pretend our elf is painted. I shouldn't have put the lid back on this because here's how we're gonna attach the hat. So you can do this two ways. If you want to make a face on your elf, you can do it now, or you can wait till you adhere the hat and that dries. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dip this in the head into my craft glue, not all the way, and then I'm going to stick the hat on, and I'm going to set that aside to dry. Okay, and then you'll need your sign. So you're going to figure out, your sign says welcome to the elf tree farm. I'm going to set my glue aside, and you're going to get a little bit of that Play-Doh, and you're going to figure out, hey, where do I want this sign to be? And you're going to take your Play-Doh. I'm going to put mine right here, and you're going to squish that up. And if you think your sign's too tall, you could trim it too. If you have scissors, a parent might need to help you to make the stick a little shorter. That's perfectly fine. So decide where you want that. There's our little tree farm. I'm missing one of my trees because it's still wet. And then your elf, you don't have to stick it down. If you'd like to just move it around, you don't have to glue it down. But our last step is our snow to sort of help us cover up some of our Play-Doh. So if you have a bit of this left over, you could use that, and you may need to add, you don't have to, but you could add a little bit of water to water it down, and you're just going to paint that all over the bottom of your lot, and then you got to pull this apart so we can stick our snow in there. So I'm not going to glue mine down, but I'm just going to show you what it would look like. So you can put all your snow. Now make sure you leave a little spot for your elf if you want your elf to be seen, so that it's not covered up. Or this is just really thick, so you just pull it apart to thin it out. So mine's really fluffy, but it doesn't have to be like that. You just use a little bit and pull it apart. I would say maybe build it up a bit around your pole and your sign to hide the Play-Doh, okay? So then you'll do that, and then if you want, you can glue your elf down if you want to be able to lift the whole thing up and things don't move, or you can just move your elf around. So I hope you enjoy this project. I think they're going to be so beautiful. I would love for you to send me some photos. Thank you.